from the deep, exploring hidden corners where the lost things sleep. With metal in our hands and a mission in our hearts, we're cleaning up the planet, saving every part. Magnetic North, you're out on the run. Every river, every lake, there's treasure to be won. From the depths to the shore, we're doing our best. Magnetic North adventures, we never rest. Never rest.
Good morning, good afternoon and good evening. It's Lee from Magnetic North Adventures. Got something special for you today, folks. We're going to be doing another of the Roman Walks series in Derbyshire and South Yorkshire. In the background we've got the Derbyshire Peak District. Look how beautiful that is. And join with Damien here.
Good morning everybody, you alright?
So we're going to have another walk, and we're going to a very famous place here in Derbyshire, Navajo Roman Fort. Now this was a wooden fort, later abandoned. Then it was retaken over and developed into a stone fort with a vicus settlement. That's a civilian settlement. So the first fort would have been an invasion fort, 60 AD, and then it was retaken over again around 150 AD. And that's when there's evidence of a settlement there and stones. So this was an upgraded fort, meaning that this fort was of use. There's been stone inscriptions found here, and it's been excavated from 1869 to 2019. There's been a number of finds, coins in the area, inscriptions on stones, pottery, bits of tile. There were even a ballista ball, and that's a siege machine that fired a large stone ball. This area here, it's all private farmland, but this is what the Romans would have been looking out onto. And that over there, them hills, that's Derbyshire. And what was important in this area was you got mineral waters and you got natural lead deposits in the area, and gemstones as well, all very important to the Roman economy. So this area would have been well known throughout the empire, stretching all the way back to Rome. This area would have been talked about, and the people that lived in this settlement most likely would have been soldiers' wives, things like that. Now officially the soldiers weren't allowed to marry, so you'd have a settlement servicing the need of the army, supplying food, grain, clothing and leather work for pouches, things like that. And unofficially the soldiers' wives and children would have been here as well. But the soldier's duty, 25 years, you sign up, you become a citizen of the Roman world. And if you was native to Rome or Italian areas, 15 to 20 years to become a free man. And basically you could do what you wanted at that point. Now a lot of this area sadly has been destroyed by the cement works and the quarry, which you see over here. Can't get any closer, but over that way there was a Roman coin found in 1929, Emperor Vespasian, from 75 AD sort of time, not too long after the invasion of Britain. So it shows just how long people have actually inhabited this. And again, in about 340, 350, it was refortified. And at that time, you got a power struggle between the old pagan army and the new Christian army. And you got a shift of allegiance from one to another, and from the old emperors to the new emperor, Emperor Constantine. So let's go and have a look at the actual fort and show you what's there. Just of note, here you can see some bumps in the ground, and just over here, this is the remains of a medieval 12th century field system, and these were plough marks, and the bumps in the middle is the turned over soil. So this would have been a medieval field. Still very popular in medieval and later times for mining. And just over there on that peak, you've got a village and town called Castleton. Very important. Right then folks, so we're on site. This is the actual fort. And all this area, all between these trees, all around here, is where the actual fort was. The river drops down at the bottom, and there's not too much to see. It's all below ground preserved remains. But there is one piece that I can show you of the stonework here. This is Roman carved stone. You can see the chip marks on it just here. So this is Roman stone. And where we are in the actual fort, we've got Damien quite bemused at what's going on here. We've actually got this area here, and again you can see this is carved. All that herringbone pattern on there. And from the position of where we are, I think this is where the strong room would have been. This is where the Roman armour would have been kept, in this area. You got more fort down that way and the walls. If you do want to see what it looked like as artists' impressions and things, I'm sure there might be information on Google about it, about the excavations, about things that were found. Now just here we've got, I'll show you, just here we've got an area that's been disturbed. And in 2019 there was a lot of pottery and things found, and that I can see just there is an area of a square trench. So that's an area that's been dug out. I believe that's possibly where the 2019 excavation took place, because you can see that's infilled land. I've done archaeology, and I know for a fact that that would be a dug out pit that's filled back in. And again over here you've got this area here, just there. I'm now outlining exactly where a pit would be. So that could be another area that's been excavated. Now I've done the archaeology, and that's what it would look like after several years of being infilled, returfed, put back to how it should be. So all this, we're inside the fort. We're actually where Roman soldiers used to be, just here. All this, you'd have men in armour, helmets, swords, spears, shields, javelins. And because there's been ballista balls found, this area at the back, this is where your civilians would have been. Away from the river, away from the fort. And this area here is where the people would have lived in the vicus, the town, the settlement. Wooden structures, nothing survives now. But this is a very, very important area for fortifications of Derbyshire. Keep going through Derbyshire, you get to Millandra, which was a massive stronghold towards Manchester, England. And then from Manchester you also had the big Roman fortress town of Chester, and that had an amphitheatre, places like that. I may well do a tour of Chester as well. We will be going to Millandra. That does have standing walls still there that's been restored. So basically this would have been a stronghold protecting the mining wealth of Derbyshire. And I've actually got some lead galena at home that I can show you. That's what there was mining. And I'll do a separate video about mining Roman Derbyshire. So I'm going to take you on to another area of some stones. So right over in the distance, just over there, you've got a big mound. Turn all the way around and you've got this hill here. And both of those could possibly have been used as beacons, so that people would know if people was coming to attack, or if there was a large gathering of people that was unknown, and that would signal to this fort here that potential trouble was coming. Now the distance between those two sites, you could walk it in a day, but an attacking army, they'd be at the bottom of these hills ready, and they generally attack when the army didn't expect it. So a large force would gather, and they basically just wait and wait and wait until it was thought that they was forgotten, and then they'd spring a surprise attack. Now there's not much evidence of warfare in Derbyshire, but it must have happened, skirmishes, things like that. But generally in this area, because of the miners, the Romans was quite friendly with the miners, not wanting to do much of the work themselves, and they let the native people continue mining, going from there and just doing what they did, and they lived quite peacefully. So just on the edge of the fort, and you've got this really old stone wall foundation. This is actually part of the outer part of the Roman fort, and then you've got a few more blocks just here. But if I just go to the bottom, this is the bottom of the bank down here, and when Damien's up there you can see there's a bit of a height difference. So this is the outside. This area here you'd also have had Roman supplies, stacked timbers, things like that. Anything that could be reused in the fort, anything that could be reused in the settlement. Now that field I showed you earlier with the plough marks, medieval, but it's possible that the Romans also did farming there as well. And this area here is now outside. So women and children, retired veterans, they're living in this area. Well folks, I couldn't really show you too much, but still a very important structure of the area, and still feel very proud and humbled to have seen this site, to have brought you all on and shown you this site. But I've got something else to show you. So we've got, this is Derbyshire, you've got the grass, buttercups, absolutely amazing, the birds just flying around. There's one coming over here, they're very fast, don't know what type they are. Absolutely beautiful and amazing. Just give you that moment of peace and tranquility. Birds in the background. So this particular fort as well, of note, the Romans had to march 30 miles in full armour, just basically to supply other soldiers to other areas where there were trouble, build fortifications and marching camps. Now this particular fort here is right in the centre. So you've got Manchester with the Melander fort, you've got the historical town of Buxton, which was a spa town where bathhouses, rest and recuperation was. You're not too far from Chester, which was the main legionary barracks. And then you could also march to Templeborough, Rotherham, Winkerbank in Sheffield, Skulls Coppice at Rotherham. And from there you could also go all the way across, stopping at Winkerbank. You'd then be going to Doncaster, which was named Danham, and we will be doing a tour of Roman Doncaster as well. So that gives you the whole belt from Doncaster, Sheffield, Rotherham, into Hope, which is where I am now, Derbyshire, and then Melander near Glossop, Manchester area. And to finish off, I might as well show you Chester as well, where I used to do the Roman reenactment with the 20th Legion. So that's going to complete the tour. We will do a tour video of Buxton as well, so I hope you look forward to that as well. Right then, that's it from me. So don't forget to like, subscribe and comment. And until the very next one, I'll catch you all very soon. It's bye from me, and
Bye from me.
see you later folks. Have a good one, and until the next time, bye for now.
Magnetic North.